Well guys, despite that I haven't posted in a while, and I apologize for not posting as much for over the weeks because of school and all, but hey, I'm back. There's a lot I want to go through because I want to show you a teaser that's going to change the course of Fortnite history forever. Despite all this is taking place in another reality, in another island, and yes, it is Fortnite Reload, but I'm going to play this trailer and you don't want to miss where I'm going to be pointing out as soon as this video ends. And guys, let's play the video. What the heck? Yeah, the way I'm seeing this, guys, there's a lot I want to explain in this trailer right here, and even at the very end, we're gonna have to go through chronological order because this all has to relate the last 0 point shard that Dark Voyager and his Dark Harvester and the Last Reality are looking for over the past weeks. Because we already know, because if we take a look in context, Dark Voyager has been to the OG reality, aka Reality Unknown. He was going down towards Loot Lake to find the 0 point shard over there, and he found out that there's nothing over there, and he left to the Save the World reality, which as of 2026, Save the World is free to play. You don't have to pay for nothing, but then you unexpectedly see Dark Voyager's Dark Harvester when you're playing those quests, which I did over there. I took the screenshot recently, and you can see the Dark Harvester looking at all of us, which is really scary because why would he go to a reality where it's already being invaded by the Last Reality? Well, there's the reason why, guys, because this is a diverged timeline of the Save the World reality. We all know that because Epic Games knows that this is not an accident. This was all on purpose. Because remember, OG and Save the World are all both connected. Battle Royale in general and Save the World, even though they're both diverged timelines to each other, they are all connected. Because mind you, Save the World has its own timeline and it's its own reality, unlike Reality Zero. Because to give it in context, Reality Zero is the first ever reality, and the Save the World reality is its own reality, where they have a planet, people, and a civilization on their own before the storm took over, and it's believed it's under the leadership of the Cube King, where the Save the World reality is invaded. Now it's getting invaded again, but this is not the same one because this is a diverged timeline compared to Reality Unknown. And it could have been like the same name, Save the World Reality Unknown or something like that. But not to go off topic, let's go over Fortnite Reload's teaser through its context and chronological order. And we'll get to go through all the characters, the weapons, the faction, elites as a whole, and the last 0 point shard which is located in this reality, and how this is all connected to the Imagined Order and the cubes in a way, which the weapons they use in the teaser are all cube based. And as you can see, there's corruption cubes on it, and let's go through this right now. And guys, I think this is written in Spanish, so I'm going to translate the video from here to see what it actually means. Also, this video is going to be a little bit of slow-mo so we can view this carefully. So we can see in the beginning that you can see what is going on over there. You can see Zadia and Jules popping up. You can see Jules building a new gun, and she is testing that out as we saw that other teaser right here. And you can see she is testing it, and it is made up of corruption cube energy. It shoots corruption cubes, shooting those targets, and this is a new weapon we're going to be seeing of Act 2 of Fortnite Showdown, as we see over here. And she saw the gun is successful, and it says Fortnite Reload, the Fort of the Elites or something like that. And if we take a look over there, we can see a view of that reality where the Elite's base is located in. Despite that the Elites were introduced in Chapter 6, their base is located in this reality. and this is where they operate their operations in. And to give more context on what the elites are basically former Imagined Order members which stepped away after the Imagined Order collapse. Meaning, in context, they were once the Imagined Order and they were fragmented into pieces. For example, Zadiet, the founder and leader of the elites, was the head of defense of the Imagined Order. And when the Imagined Order was disbanded, she left after disbandment, and what she did is that when the Imagined Order got destroyed, it only got destroyed in Reality Zero. But some remaining parts were remaining in this reality right here, where the elite's home base is located in, which is this reality, which I'm going to be labeling right now, because that reality where it takes place is Reality 337, the home of the elites. And if we take a look through this trailer, guys, this is where the elite's home base is. And let's keep playing the video. As we can see, we get more view of it. We could see underground and it says Reality 337. And I think this is where they mine the corruption cubes because the last reality has been there before. Since the Imagined Order has been scouting the last reality for a very long time, because this was not the first time they've been doing so. They've been doing so in Reality 266, in Classified Canyon, as we see over there. And if we prove this to why Reality 266 was a former IO base, you could see the Origin's prison outfit. It's Area 07 right here, and his prison outfit says 07 on it right here, which means he was taken to Reality 266 before he escaped by killing a bunch of IO guards and escaped from there and joined the 7. And it's believed that Reality 337 is where the Imagined Order formerly operate their operations right there. And when it got disbanded, this became a remnant fragment of the Imagined Order, and Zadiet is one of those leaders of this fragment before it transformed to what is now today the elites. Even though they still keep the Imagined Order traditions, like in the new Fortnite arena, we can see on why they're doing this. They still make us fight each other, make us do 1v1s each other, through like loop control and all of these symbols of the Imagined Order, as you can see, like the Ageless symbol right here, because this and Geno are all both connected, or the Ageless champion who was transforming to Geno. And in Reality 337, which was a former Imagined Order base, now it's an elite space, we can see they've been mining corruption cubes, because to give it more information, it's believed that the last reality, just like how they tried to invade the Save the World reality with their motherships, as we see in one of these quests right here, they also tried to do the same thing in Reality 337, but they failed, and it's believed that there might be motherships hidden underneath there, since they've been digging this site for thousands of years. Since the Imagined Order has been around for thousands of years, they've been digging this site, and they found a lot of pieces of mothership remnants from both of these realities, and corruption cubes in general, since corruption cubes can sometimes turn into like the Storm and the Storm King, since the Storm King is corruption cube in general. And to prevent the Storm Kings from rising and try to do another cataclysmic event as what happened with the Save the World reality many years earlier, they had to literally control these cubes in a way to make sure this doesn't happen, which is why they had to use the cube weapons carefully as what they're using. Sometimes you can see they're using the power of the 0 point, since they have the 0 point shard, which it will be played later on. And here's one of the bases as we see here. If you take a look at their flag and their banner, you can see it's a cube shape. I assume that used to be the Imagined Order symbol from back in the day, but since the Imagined Order is gone, the remnant of what was once the Imagined Order, possibly like a defense fragment of the Imagined Order, has transformed into the elites, which is why their flag looks like this. And the reason why it's shaped like a corruption cube, because this is that reality where the last reality once invaded and they failed to do so, and their corruption cubes are just everywhere across this reality. And you can see the satellite dishes, which their Imagined Order traditions just never dies. It's like the same dishes, but now it's the elite's dishes. And as this video continues to play here, we can see a rift over there, possibly, you know, many people rifting around. And as you can see right here, the three main people of the elites, you can see Zadiet, the former head of defense of the Imagined Order, and you can see Jules over there holding a cube gun, and you can see Daigo, who was once probably the former commander of the Demon Warriors from Reality 783, and is also a mask maker, and now he is part of the elites holding a cube SMG, as you can see right here. And most of their outfits, including Daigo's, is black and yellow, which can mean two things. Number one, the Ageless, and number two, Geno in general. Since Geno wears black and yellow, their outfits never dies with the black and yellow, especially for like the knights over there, as I'm showing you right here. Since they're all connected to Geno, possibly they're allies with the Ageless, but despite they probably hate the Imagined Order now, according to Zadiet, if you take a look at those voice lines, which I'll play right now.
Your friends have been looking into my past. I've got nothing to hide, but you haven't earned my trust. I've seen enough. I'll tell you what you need to know, but nothing more. I was head of defense for the Imagined Order, but now I run things my way. I don't care who Daigo was or what he did. Being an elite is about getting the job done. What matters is how he fights. Now that Jules is around, we'll never be outgunned. Wait till you see what she's cooking up.
And if you could take a look, guys, in one of the voice lines, she also mentions Dr. Sloan. And she said something about a list that she didn't put Dr. Sloan to. Let's take a listen.
Sloane's alive because I haven't put her on my list. She's a double-edged sword. But sometimes that's what you need.
Okay, this is suspicious because Sloan is alive because I haven't put her on my list. Like, what list is she putting Sloan onto? She still has issues with Sloan and other former Imagined Order members, while still allying with those from the Ageless Order or the Oathbound, which is the primitive Imagined Order, and it's like a chaotic mess between former members of the Imagined Order and the Ageless Order or the Oathbound, and some members of the Seven, some of Midas' crew, and most of all, some of Daigo's state, which is like the shop of like the Thousand Faces before it became a dojo for the demons, and including the Seven, which includes the Foundation. And it's believed that Sadia is also connected to Shadow in a way, because if you take a look, like, she's actually like a Shao member similar to Jules over there, since they are both connected to either Chaos Agent or Midas, since they were both Imagined Order members, just to give more information. And as you can take a look over there, they're shooting probably former IO guards or something like that. Now they're Elites guards or something, probably as test subjects. And then you can see the corruption cube energy just corrupting them in a way that Daigo is using for the SMG, and this guy explodes into pieces. And then these other two there. Oh wait, go back, go back. Guys, do you really think you didn't see that? These are drills that they used during the war in Chapter 3 Season 2. Do you really think I don't see that? Do you really think we're gonna be fooled not to see that? Of course not, because look, this is the Imagined Order emblem right here. You can see this belongs to the Imagined Order. These are the drills they used to invade the Chapter 3 island against the Seven. And they still use it because their tradition never dies. Guys, this is proof that the Elites is the Imagined Order in a remnant. Like, it's like the remnants of the Imagined Order. Like, because here's the thing, guys, the Imagined Order is not truly destroyed at all. The Imagined Order still operates in a different name. The Elites is literally the Imagined Order under a different type of name and symbol, while still keeping the tradition. You can see the 0 point and the compass and everything and the symbols around there. It's the same thing. They still are loyal to the Order and Geno. And this also proves that the Imagined Order and Geno are both coming back even more stronger than ever to counter the Dark Voyager, because mind you, the only way to destroy the last reality is for the Foundation and Geno and the Imagined Order and the Seven coming together as a family again, trying to come together as allies, forming a unified faction to destroy the last reality and Dark Voyager and rebuild the 0 point together to end this mess once and for all. This is literally proof of there. You can literally see that. Like, Epic Games is not hiding this. They're literally showing us on what is actually happening in Chapter 7 Season 2, because this chapter and season is like a huge game changer. Because what did I tell you, like, months earlier when I say the Imagined Order and Geno are returning in Chapter 7 Season 2? They're returning in a fast pace. You can see former IO members. Well, she's probably still an IO member because she's an Imagined Order agent. Like, don't say that she wasn't or she isn't anymore. She still is, because she is still loyal to the Order. If she is not loyal to the Order, she would have got rid of this a long time ago. But nope, it's still there, which is exact proof as to why the Imagined Order is still operating under a different name, under a different type of entity, but they're all the same. And you can see the corruption cube flying over there. And boom, it can even destroy builds. And as this trailer progresses, you can see the OXR DMRs. They're also coming back to the game as well for the first time since Chapter 6 Season 4. You can see more people approaching, and if you zoom in real quick, wait a minute, pause right there. What is that? What is that? Is this what Dark Voyager is looking for, guys? What is that? Let me tell you what is that. This is the 7th 0 point shard, and this is the very last one. This is the very last 0 point shard, or so soon to be the last 0-point shard unless there's more 0-point shards scattering these realities. And yes, guys, this is official. Reality 337 and the Imagined Order under a name called Elites is harboring the last 0-point shard. And this is not a mistake. This is actually intentional because I can figure that either Geno or probably remnants of the Imagined Order under like the former high-ranking members like Sadia and all are still harboring the last 0-point shard. And I was right this whole time. The Imagined Order is still harboring the 0-point shard to this day. And Zadieh is keeping this safe to make sure that the Dark Voyager does not abduct it. As you can see, it's putting like the special cube shielding or something like that to make sure that no one gets to that 0-point shard, even though it's emitting a lot of 0-point energy, as you can see here. And I wonder how Dark Voyager is gonna feel if he finds out that Zadieh this whole time is actually keeping the 0-point shard. I think he knows, but I think he's pretending not to know since he's going to the OG reality and the Save the World reality, and then he's like, wait, this is right there? I want that for real estate. And he's probably gonna try to abduct the 0-point shard, but I think there's gonna be like a story moment very soon where it's gonna relate of Dark Voyager trying to get the 0-point shard and the Elites fight back with their cube weapons because they had to adapt through it because the last reality is very dangerous. They use corruption cubes and chaos cubes, havoc cubes, blue cubes as their weapons of mass destruction, and even chrome as their weapons of mass destruction, because they could be still using the chrome. The Herald probably never died. She's probably still alive somewhere in the cube's cradle and all, and they're all gonna come back for this last 0-point shard to rebuild the 0-point. Dark Voyager will get the vault from like the OG island or somewhere else, and everything is gonna go worse from here. I bet this is going to be very crazy because this 0-point shard is being like protected by the Elites, and Dark Voyager was trying so hard to hide it until he failed to realize that, oh wait, this right here is actually there. This 0-point shard is actually in this reality. I want to go get that right now. And I believe Dark Voyager is probably going to enter the reality 337, and the second he reaches reality 337, he's going to have to try to like 1v 5,000 of these people because there's going to be way too much to handle until that Dark Harvester is going to be blown up, and they're going to have to be backing up by sending their Cube's Cradle to do the job. I really hope not. I really hope that the Cube's Cradle does not come here because that would be even worse for the war. And yeah, this is why they're harboring this last 0-point shard, and this whole time it's actually in this protected capsule. Like, seriously? Like, holy cow. And they're still shooting with the cube guns. And it ends over there. Fortnite Reload, yada yada yada. And guys, let me know in the comments below, how do you think this is gonna play out? And I'm just making this quick video because I know that I haven't posted in a while because not only for school but also a lot of editing for the other videos I have to do. But no worries, because this week there's gonna be even more videos coming out to talk about more information about the Elites, Dark Voyager's current situation, and OG, Save the World, and Reload in general, because they're all connected with Reality 266. And we're gonna see what happens from there over the next couple of days to weeks as when Dark Voyager progresses to go to that reality to try to get the 0-point shard. Let me know in the comments, guys, how you think this war is going to play out with the Elites as well, because now they're getting involved. Now them and the 7 are now allies. It's like the Imagined Order and the 7 unexpectedly became allies without saying, hey, we the Imagined Order surrendered to the 7 and we're now becoming their allies. And as a result, they're getting back together. Like, the Foundation is being friends with the Imagined Order again, because he doesn't even realize that this is actually the Imagined Order in a different name, the Elites. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll give you guys more updates on the next act of Fortnite Showdown, Act 3. As of we're currently in Act 2, soon Act 3 is going to happen, and it's going to be like some redactive stuff going on. Let me know what Act 3 is going to be, guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.